Hello. I'm Joanne and I have a variety of things on my YouTube channel, but today I will actually be doing like a small review and kind of the process I went through to get and set up my first customizable keyboard. I've already actually done a lot of it because I got this actually last week, and I've already waited a long time just so I can kind of do this video-ish. So for my first customizable keyboard, I went with the GMMK Pro, which is kind of like the hype of the new hot swappable customizable keyboard, and supposedly I guess it has all like the plates and stuff. I did a lot of research right before this came out, so I did have a plan of buying all the other separate parts, but then I got a friend to recommend the GMMK Pro, and so far it's been amazing and I love it. And by the way, I am in no way sponsored by them at all. This is just happened to be my first customizable keyboard recommendation, and it's been amazing. First of all, let me tell you, I wanted to make this video short, but I do talk a lot, so and I don't normally do a lot of reviews, but this is just solely my opinion and how I feel about, you know, everything I've gone through with keyboards. I actually did start out with those super, I want to say cheap, like Amazon made from China mechanical keyboards, so they was like super loud, and now this is where I am now. So just a brief, I guess, intro of what I had right before this was I have I believe this is the Vermillo Ducky mix. It's like Vermillo Ducky keyboard, and it has, I believe, cherry browns. I used to really like blue switches, but I can't live with the crazy click, because after I discovered the brown switches, it was a lot more, you know, manageable with the sound, especially because with work and everything I use the computer a lot, and it's just the blue ones are just super loud. So this is these keycaps are not the ones that come with the keyboard. Actually, I will link the original keyboard. It had really, I mean, the keycaps for the original keyboard was also really nice, but I am very I want to say I just shop around online too much, and I've been exposed to a lot of keycaps that I love, but so far, actually, which I'll show you in a bit, I am kind of very set on the ones that actually the most recent ones I bought were these, because I wanted to try, I believe this is the DSA, which is in between like a low profile and then also the regular keycaps that you would normally use. I forgot, I think it's OEM, but the ones that I kind of fell in love with, shockingly, was the XDA ones, because I actually like the really smooth feel of those kind of keys versus, you know, when you usually buy the stock keyboards, it has that, I want to say, it's really hard to explain all these because you kind of have to feel them, but it's kind of like a rough, chalky, I think that's what people usually describe as feel. So these are the DSA ones, and I really wanted to try them because I usually normally like low profile, because also you can see the RGB, and I'm all about the RGB. So I'll link both of these in the, I got this one, I actually got this one from Amazon, and it had the colors that I like, and it has these really cute paws on the enter key that I love. So this is the one that I'm currently using, and then we're gonna go ahead and work on customizing my new keyboard. So just to kind of give you an idea of the ideas and what I've decided on for this keyboard, and just to show you this new super cute switch opener that I got. Okay, so it took me a long time to do research on what switches I really wanted, because I don't remember what I started looking into, but I kind of do miss the clickiness of the blues. Just I think my idea was I wanted clicky, not so loud, and I wanted that, I don't know, you always listen to those I guess ASMR, you know, typing videos, and they just all sound like really nice. And I did want it clicky, it's just I cannot deal with typing so much on a clicky keyboard. So what I ended up doing was I decided on having basically something with browns, similar to browns, and something also with the blue. So I had recommendations. Again, I did a lot of research on this. I even looked into like silent tactiles, because those obviously they still had the tactility, you can feel the bump, but they were silent, they were more silent. But I've been trying to explain this feeling to all of my friends, but essentially they have, the silent tactiles have this, I'm gonna use the same term, chalky, it's not abrasive, but you do hear a sound with those that it's not a smooth sound, and it's kind of like a, I don't know, you kind of have to listen to the videos. Again, all these videos that you listen to, it really depends on like the gain of the microphone and what type of microphone people are using. So just keep those in mind, because I know that's something I had to keep in mind when I was listening. But so here is what I decided. Let's talk about that. So I went with Hako violet switches, and I believe it's called, hold on, let me actually bring it up. So they are I got Hako violets, and these are in box, they're supposedly box jades, but they had a different name to them. But they are like similar / the same, because they do have box jade in their name. They're called Novelkey jade box switches, so they're still box jade. So here are the box jade ones, and these are the clicky ones, and then I have the Hako violets. So I went with both of them because I figured what I can do, because I still like the clickiness, is the keys that I press less with, I can use the clickies. So then I can still get that like feel of the clickies when, you know, I seldom click them, but then when I normally click, you know, all of the letter keys, I'll use the Hakos. And I'm also lubing them, of course. I went with the 205 Kibo. I think it's called Cryo. I think it's actually Cryo. No, Kibo is where I bought it off. I think it's, yes, Crytox Lubing. Sorry, I'm very bad with these names. So it's this right here. I went with this lube. I don't think it gives, I also did a little bit of research on the lube, but it looks like a lot of people use this, and I mean, assuming that a lot of them are pretty similar in obviously how they're used, but this is what I went with. So again, this is the Cryotox. I mean, it doesn't really say here, but I got it from the Kibo store. So both the I will link everything that I wear and where I bought them from, so I'll link them in the description. But essentially I've got some of it done, again, because it has been about a week and I've been working. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, lubing is just not fun. I know I've looked up some ways to basically lower the lubing time, because you know there was this method I looked where you basically just lube a Ziploc bag, throw all of the springs in, and kind of just roll them around. But I don't know, since you don't really lube all the time, basically what me and my friend have kind of discussed, you want to kind of spend some time lubing them. So it wasn't that big of a deal. You know, I have a small paintbrush, which I think is more, they actually, when you get the lube, they actually give you this small Q-tip looking brush, but it's not, the paintbrush kind of, you know, obviously the brush splits, so it does make it easier. It's not gonna, but it does make it easier to you know, because they're bristly, it does make it easier to lube. And this is what they give you, so it's kind of like a Q-tip, but you know, it not the best, I would say, for lubing. Some areas possibly, and I'll go over how I've been lubing them, which again I've also used. I can reference some of the videos that I used as a guide to how I lube them, but essentially just to show you, this is my progress so far, and I will have obviously I will show some of the process that I went through, but basically once you start lubing, and again this is a hot swappable, you literally just pop them in, and then I have a difference of how the sound is of you know, unlubed and lubed. So basically this, let me show you. If I know the sound, again, you can't 100% be dependable on the sound of these, but over any type of video. So I actually, at first I ordered 10 of these. The price is pretty good, like these aren't super luxurious switches, so it was about $5-ish for a count of 10 for the Hako violets, and then I believe it was like 3 something for the box shades. So this is the Hako violets. Like you can really barely hear it. And I think personally it sounds a lot softer than these, but again, I'm not clicking it on a surface. Here, actually I can, here, with these are lubed. The one I just took out is unlubed, but again, this is well, here, okay, here's how it sounds if it's lubed and unlubed. So let me just show you how I lube my switches. Okay, so as I said, I wanted to show you guys the super cute switch opener that I got. I got this on Amazon. A lot of the stuff I get from Amazon. And I know a lot of the ones I actually saw, there are like semi-cheaper options. I think starting out around $7-8. This one was $14, so a little more expensive, but totally worth. I think it actually opens a lot of different types of switches, so it's not that bad, especially if you are going to open other ones. I mean, I'm probably going to keep this for a while considering how long it takes to lube these again. But here we go. Look at this super cute kitty. So it came in copper and red, and I decided actually to stick with getting the red one. But all you do here is pop this open. It's actually magnetic, and voila, very easy. Magnetic. Okay, so all you do, you open this. We're using, so I'm assuming you can use this for other switches because of these other 4 prongs on the other side, but we will be using this side for the ones that we have, and the green and purple switches actually are very similar, so you pop them out the same way. So all you do is basically put this right here. So there's 2 sides that look like this right here. This side looks like this, and this side is the same. So as you can see, these 2 sides look the same, and those two sides will match up right here. Oh my gosh, right here with these 2 prongs, and all you do literally is just push down, and you'll hear a click when you push down. Whoops. And that's it. Literally just pop it open. Okay, so we'll do the green one to see that popping again. Put this here. So this is the green one. We'll open this one as well. So again, these 2 will pop into here, and all you do
you see, like, you saw that it basically pushed out the plastic, and that's it. Pops it right out. So it takes, I definitely recommend getting a switch opener. If I had not mentioned it before, I did try it without a switch opener, and basically you have to pry that portion out with either a thin blade or like a screw, you know, the flathead screwdrivers. You can, you know, pry it out, but obviously not very ideal. It does take a long time, and you know, the parts just kind of exploded everywhere and just popped all over the place. So definitely recommend getting a switch opener if you are to want to give this you know, do lubing switches or anything, opening switches. Okay, so we'll lube the Hako violets first. So we have the Hako violet. So first we can take out all the parts. It'll make it a lot easier. I usually start out with this, and I had a lot of doubts, basically questions on how much you actually put in, but the saying apparently is less is more, and you know, after all, it is lube, and they do anything the lube touches is gonna get slippery, oily, whatever the term might be, right? So you kind of just want to, so I use a paintbrush. My lube kit came with, actually I think I showed before, came with this little brush, but it doesn't, because, you know, again, paintbrushes have bristles that can spread out and make it a lot easier to lube the spring. I recommend using a small brush. So starting out with, I just had right here, this. So first we'll be lubing this right here, this cylindrical part, and I just literally dip the tip very, very, very little. You barely can see it. Just brush that in. My god, I'm really bad at focusing this in here. So just, you want to just kind of get around. I don't think you need it. I think in the beginning I was actually doing the middle, but nothing actually touches the middle, right? The spring goes around it, so you don't have to get that. So just brush the cylindrical part. Okay, that should be good. And then next is the spring. So with the spring, I normally, here, let's put this on this. I normally use a tweezer. So what I do is, here's a spring. I know it's going to be really hard to see, but here's a spring. What I do is I stick the tweezer in between like one of the coils and try to tweeze the coil. I don't know how well you can see that, but let's see if it'll, you know, if it gets too close. Yeah, so just to hold the spring, because I personally don't want to get my hands all lubey and oily and stuff, so I usually use a tweezer and just kind of hold it. And then again, you know, you want to just get the tip a little bit. Most people, I mean, what's said is you basically can just, you know, put some lube on the, I mean, here, let me put this down for a sec. So, you know, the sides of the container will have lube, so you can literally just, I guess, brush it a little bit and you'll have enough. I actually have too much on my brush right now, and that's good enough. But I think technically you don't even have to re-dip. They say you can, if you have enough on your brush, you can lube the whole switch without having to. Oh, Kitty's asking for something. We're just trying to claw me. Okay. Again, so I'm going to tweeze this, just hold on to it, and then basically just do both sides. If you put too much, what happens is there's like a weird suction noise. So you see how like the bristles will kind of split and get in between. That's why I kind of like using the brush, but I actually think there's too much on this side. But just get both ends kind of somewhat evenly. get the inside. I'm just being extremely thorough, clearly, but that should definitely be enough. Okay, and then I just pop that back in right here. Okay, and then next I do this, which is, I think it's a switch. Like I said, I don't know, not a keyboard expert, but I'm assuming they name the switches after these colors. It seems like, you know, Jade, Hako's, you know. So what you would do is next you lube this part, and then the other side also has the same thing, this part, and then this inside, that little tip. All right, so I'm just gonna dip a little more and then get the sides right here. Okay, and then get the other side. And you'll actually see, like, obviously on the camera you're not going to be able to see the shimmer, but you'll see like a shine once you have the lube on. I mean, I don't have that good of a camera to see that shine, but you'll definitely see that you got lube on it. Okay, and then, you know, dip a little more and get that center. Just kind of get around that, get that in. Okay. I get paranoid sometimes when I do this, and I always feel like I don't have enough. I'm sorry, I was just kind of checking. Think I see it. So maybe I'll put a little more. Ah, there we go. Okay. Now I know I got some of that in. All right, perfect. Okay, so putting this in, how I guess when you take it apart, you kind of want to keep in mind the orientation, but basically this aligns with this, right? And the flatter side aligns with like the back. And then we're gonna also lube this clear part. So the clear part, we have, what we're gonna do is we are going to lube, there's like a little crease right here. It's actually kind of hard to see, but there's definitely a, when you open the switch, you'll see, oh, right there. It's like right in here. So you'll lube both sides, because both sides have that same little, it looks like a bridge basically. So you're just gonna lube that. And again, I actually looked up a video to do this, and I can definitely link that. But I'm just also guiding you through the way I did it, which obviously would be the same. Dip a little more. And get that on the other side. So now both, again, you don't need like a crap ton. You just need enough for it to basically feel silvery. Luby. Okay, and then this part took me a bit, which was kind of funny. I kept orientating it wrong, but it only goes in one way. So if I do it the wrong way, if I do it the wrong way, the switch, this won't come through, right? So if I like, you'll keep capping it over and it won't go through. So eventually I kind of figured out like that part that we lubed is actually farther back. It'll basically match up with these sides. So, but this part surprisingly does take me a bit sometimes. And then that just clips right in. Okay. And that's it. That's lubing it. And then because again, this is hot swappable, so you literally just pop the switch in. So these two prongs, of course, match with the two holes on the board right here. Yep. And there we go. We just pop that in. That's it. that's it. So hot swappable, very, very good with swapping out switches. And again, if you like swapping them out, hot swappable is the way to go. I mean, I've never used, the other ones require soldering, which I don't have a soldering kit because again, this is my first customized keyboard, but the green one would be the same, the way you lube them. And then we'll go through the journey. Again, I kind of had some of this pre-done because I've had this already for a week. But I still have the process to show you guys. Just a quick preview of how, you know, kind of just pop them all in. I do want to kind of show you how I removed them because I actually broke one of the first few that I was pulling out, because pulling them out for some reason was so difficult for me. I actually ripped, but I actually figured out the trick yesterday, kind of how to do it. And what you want to do, I was actually told I don't know, you were supposed to squeeze them on the side. I was actually streaming this and my friends were kind of advising me to do it this way, but I think the trick is actually to do it this way, because there's actually, I don't even know if you're able to see this, there's like small gaps. Yeah, you probably can't, but there's small gaps, oh, right here, that you can actually grab. But obviously, again, you don't want to pull too hard, because let me show you the one I broke. And I want to show you the trick that so this is the one I kind of broke, and you can actually see that plastic that's like lifted right there, and it's supposed to look like, let me grab it, supposed to look like this. Of course, I think I showed you the 4 sides, so if you see the difference, I like popped that and broke it. Yeah, you can totally see a difference. So I popped that and broke, and this is how it's supposed to look. So what you want to do when you remove them is you actually want to just, let me put this aside, pull the top first. So you want to put the leverage on the top, then the bottom. And I think this is the trick. I tried it yesterday. Let's see if it works. Because I was basically, you know, squeezing and pulling both upwards. So I was kind of doing this. But what you want to do is squeeze and then lift this way a little bit and then pull it up, from what I remember. So again, let's see. So you want, again, because the switch has, you know, this part and this part, there's like space where the tool kind of can go into. So you just squeeze that and then pull up. Oh my gosh, pull up first. I get so nervous, but you kind of want to like wiggle. Oh, and that popped right out. So again, I still put more pressure on the top part first, because that's where the prongs are, and that's what I think, you know, it kind of gets stuck into. So again, pull the top and the bottom. Let me pop this right back in, and let's try that again. So let's, for the, you know, surefire method, possibly. So wiggle, but pull on the top first. And you can kind of feel like maybe I should hold it. God, it's hard. And I get so nervous because I already broke one. And this is why I'm also not gonna be doing this multiple times, because again, I don't know why. So that pops out. I don't even know where that popped into. Alright, so we are down to almost finishing up on the keyboard. Funny thing, like again, I only was planning to do, you know, the F keys and the number keys for the clickies for the most part, and then, you know, here and there I could incorporate some of the clicky switches, but I actually have a lot of the Hako violets left. So we have a lot of extra of these, and because I actually figured I would fill most of the keyboard with that Hako violets, but turns out since there's a lot more buttons I didn't think I'd be clicking, I was like, hey, maybe I can put more clickies. But now I'm like, now since I'm only down to this, I figured let's map out where we want to put our last few. So again, I decided that I will be most likely trying out the spacebar with this clicky, even though it might actually click a lot, but we'll see. And then we're gonna go with a Hako violet for the backspace. I believe this is backspace. I actually had to go onto the GMMK website to see where each key landed. And then these I'm debating, I don't know, do I want to use clickies for these arrow keys? I'm not sure, but I think I want to use a clicky for the tab, so let's put that here. These are definitely going to be the violets. I guess I have, so I thought I had 10, but I think I have a little more than 10, so I'm thinking we can probably do, if we do, let's see how many. So this will take up 4, right? I'm just mapping it out to see how many I can use, and it's not that big. Like, again, I mean, since I'm not even clicking these, I guess it doesn't really matter whether they're the clicky ones or not. Imagine wanting more clickies, imagine. And then I guess I can finish off, I could use a clicky for the enter, because again, I think I should, for the shift, I should probably use, I actually press shift, I think I press shift a lot for work, and then we'll put that as we could do clicky. I'm thinking maybe these I literally never use, so maybe use them. I think I should just use up the greens since I really only have so many left. So let's put them towards the end here. Whoops. Right here. Zoom out a bit. Okay. So we'll do the greens on the end right here. And these will be greens because the plan was to have the top row be greens, right? And oh my gosh, we only have 2 more. We only got 2 more. So it would either be the shift. I'm not actually, I don't remember But so this is, oh, this is, so this is tilde, this is tab, this is caps lock, which you never press. So maybe I should make this clicky, I don't know. Or we can switch it. We can do shifts and we do press it. I'm, you know, supposedly we're supposed to be doing the ones we hit less to be, or more to be less clicky, but now I'm like, I don't press them enough, but I can press them enough to hear the satisfaction of the clicks. So maybe we'll do Hakos here, we can do the clicky here, and then we got one left. And we got one left. Oh, we have a shift. I mean, you literally never. I think we should just do violet on this one, since I mean, nobody uses this shit. And then we can do, I guess we can probably, what do I use more? Control or, oh my god, there's a lot of dust. I guess we can do, I press window less than, probably control. We can do control, right? Let's do control. Let's do it. Let's do the control. I'm actually wondering, maybe instead of these being greens, maybe I should make the ones on the bottom, because I probably press these ones more than I press these ones. So these, if I want to hear the satisfaction of the clicks, I should really be using it on the bottom, right? So this would be nice. Actually, the insert can be, so hey, that looks nice. I want the layout to also look nice, you know, just all right. And then the rest will be violets, because I have a shit ton of violets. I actually think I ordered way more violets than I needed to. But yeah, I think this is it. This is gonna be the layout that we have. Let's just put them all here, and then we can put away the stuff, clean out the desk, and then lube the rest. right, and now we are on our last one here. Woo-hoo, last switch. All right, get this bad boy on, and then we'll get the keycaps on. So throughout this process, I think my biggest fear was basically not, again, I think I spoke about it a little earlier, it has been a while, but my biggest fear was, you know, not knowing if I had enough lube on some of the springs, some of the parts. I know most of the video was fast forwarded, but some parts I did take out the switches and then re-lube them because I felt like they sounded different. I honestly don't know if it's because, you know, I've been hearing it so much that they sound different, or I mean, I feel like they should sound the same if anything because I'm hearing them so much. But because that was not the case, I, you know, took some out and then redid it. I mean, some still kind of sound different, but again, it could just be like the keycaps. When you press on the switches without the keycaps being on them, they do tend to, I don't know, sound a little different. So, I mean, I'm sure as I type, these things won't really be so noticeable. Or hopefully at least, but I know for a fact that I am lubing these, and again, because there is lube like on the brushes, honestly some of these I probably over lubed. I don't, with the clicky ones, you don't really hear the suction sound that I mentioned earlier if you put too much on, but that's probably because the switch was so loud. See, like, I'm doing these so thoroughly, and I'm assuming there has to be some type of lube on them, especially because I'm using a paintbrush, and lube is oily, so even if you slightly touch them, they should have lube. Right, we're on our last bits of this. And I always try to see if there's like the shimmer to make sure I got the lube on, which it's a lot easier honestly to see on the colored pieces, not so much personally on the springs. This part, last part. And I know at some parts I'm still kind of having trouble aligning these and getting them in. I'm pretty sure I have this aligned correctly, but I don't know why, like, this part is just uber hard to get in. Oh Jesus. I think it's the last one and I'm choking. All right, here we go. The last switch. Ooh. All right. Pop that baby in. Some were harder to pop in, some were easier to pop in, and if they don't go, if they don't go in, it might be because both sides haven't clicked, even though it sometimes that feels and sounds like they both have, which is why, you know, some of them I had to kind of pull back out. Again, I don't know. Oh, okay. Let me check again, because I did hear the second click, but these last few ones, I don't know why they've just been a little harder to pop in. There we go. And there we go. Full out. All done. I'm pretty sure they're all in. And they sound beautiful. I mean, again, some of them do sound a little different. But the mic I'm using is actually, I believe, a condenser mic from what I know, and it actually, I don't think you're able to hear the clicks through the mic, so we'll have to adjust for that in a bit. But let's go over, so I can use the the Vermillo Ducky keyboard that I have uses, I mean, I think most of them use USB-C these days, but just so we can see how freaking beautiful this RGB looks, let's just plug this in real quick. Oh, actually, let's close this up because we're done. Put this away. I can't believe how much we actually use. Like, there's actually a spot that's just gone right there, and I even kept dipping, so shocked. And I'm told like you pretty much only lube once. I don't know how long these last, but if you guys again know or have any tips, you know, let me know, leave some comments. All right, so let's move this brush out of the way, and this is it's crazy. Look how much how much violets I actually still have left. Could have probably saved a few bucks here, but yeah, I didn't realize I'd be feeling like using all the greens. They're actually it almost seems like I actually used more greens than the violet Hakos. All right, let's put this baby away, this cutie, and plug this in and see how it shines like a friggin' diamond. Oh man, look at that. Just look how beautiful it looks. Ooh, at least we know it turns on, right? Okay, so let's talk about the keycaps that I have. So I told you again, these I bought on Amazon. I will link it, the DSA profiles, and I will show you the craziness that I am. So I mean, the packaging, obviously I kind of put them in different packaging because I've been switching my keycaps a lot. So these are my favorite, and the chosen keycaps, the chosen one. They are Animal Crossing XDA profile, and these are like the leftover from these. So just so you have an idea, they're not, obviously this is not the same, but these are the ones, and these are the ones we're going to use on this one. So I believe the GMMK Pro is a 75%, which is really nice because my Ducky one, as you can tell, does not have the F key. So I actually really like playing MMOs. I used to have an MMO mouse, but now I use the Glorious Model O, best mouse I've ever used, super light ever since I started using it. This is another story, but obviously I'm going on tangent. Again, I went for the style and the RGB, and it's really light. At the time I was playing Valorant, but I did switch from a very, very heavy MMO mouse to that. Anyway, sidetrack. So the F keys are really nice for that matter, and it's nice to kind of just have that. Everything is nicely condensed, and I have pretty much all of still the same keys, just now the F keys added, and the size is actually, it almost looks like this. I think technically the length is basically the same, as you can tell. They're not, but this has F keys, which is really nice, and this knob that I know it seems pretty popular amongst people that I've talked to. And then this is actually the packaging that the Animal Crossing keys came in, which I swapped out. So all right, here we go. So this is actually, see, the original keycaps for the Ducky Vermillo are these rainbow ones, which, like I said, the original ones are really nice. They have a really, really nice spacebar that I love. It's like a rainbow wave kind of deal. But I wanted to try XDA, and I don't know, I'm like a very bubbly person, for those of you guys who don't know me, and I'm like that Comic Sans person that everyone doesn't like. But I wanted to try keycaps essentially with the rounded edges, and I thought these looked really cute, really cool. These are the Animal Crossing ones, as you can tell with the font, and I am all about the font for the Animal Crossing ones. So I switched them out just to test them out. But again, the Vermillo Ducky original keycaps are these. I put them in here, because, you know, I swapped them out for the Animal Crossing ones. So these ones were originally here, And then the Animal Crossing ones I actually did swap out to use here because I was waiting. I pre-ordered the GMMK Pro, and I really of all these 3 different types of keycaps I have, I kind of almost immediately fell in love when I started using the Animal Crossing ones. These ones, it almost, because if you can tell, the surface area on these ones actually are a lot bigger, so I felt like I was actually fat fingering when I was using these. They're very light though. I'm not these they're really nice. The DSA profile is nice. It's just my personal preference. I didn't immediately, I fell in love faster with these Animal Crossing ones more than I did with these. So now I'm kind of, more geared towards sticking with these. But all right, aside from my long story of my crazy keycap journey, let's pop these babies in. This looks freaking amazing and it feels great. I kind of wish I had one more clicky for some of these, like the caps lock, which I'm not gonna press anyway, but holy shit, we gotta do a test run on this. All right, and that's the keyboard. We've plugged them all in. Everything is in place. But let's clean up a bit and we'll do a test run.
All right, so now everything is done. I literally just clicked some keys and it's freaking amazing. This thing sounds solid. It's crazy because now that we have the keycaps on and everything's done, everything sounds a lot quieter than you would have imagined. Even, you know, without the keycaps pushing on them, you still hear like the loud-ish clicks. I actually, so just another disclaimer, throughout this entire video, I've actually switched between phone and my DSLR. I have a Sony Alpha, and fortunately I have the Sony Alpha because when I do the zooms and the focusing, it does a little bit of a better job, because I am trying to kind of show the lubing and the whole process. So I use the Sony camera to record the whole keyboard process, and then with obviously talking and stuff, I do it with the phone. And I believe it seems, because with the recording I am using my mic to speak, and the mic does not pick up any of the sounds in the background really, so it's really hard to hear the typing sounds with the mic. So I always switch over to the phone because it does a better job with the typing sound. So I'm gonna do a really quick typing test just so you guys can see the difference, because I changed so many of the, you know, I have the greens and the purples, and now you can see the difference with all the sounds now that the whole keyboard's done. So let's see how everything sounds. So there it was, the typing test with all the different clickies. Again, I actually just re-listened to it just to make sure we can hear the audio. Again, it sounds a lot different in person. I'd say there's definitely a little bit of echo in the video versus hearing it in person, but I thought it was really fun. I do love that I mixed the clickies, and again, the clickies, again, the clicks sound a little louder on cam, which makes sense, and it's good because I want you to hear how the clickies are, but in person, again, it's a little more damper, the sounds, and the clickies aren't, I want to say it's not as loud as it sounds in the audio and the video, but I thought it was super fun. I think I may have over-lubed the shift because it feels almost a little like sticky. I don't know, but I wonder if lubing it should help it, because if anything it should feel, you know, smooth. So I don't know if I might have to re-lube that, but it's funny because I think the space bar actually sounds very soft compared to like the arrow keys. But again, the clicks are actually, they sound very nice, and I like that I put them on keys I wouldn't really be pressing most of the time versus the letters. The only thing is with this keyboard, well actually with the keycaps, because the XDA profile keycaps are a little larger, the colors peek through not as much, I feel like, as it would if it was a different keycap. I have been meaning to try I believe it's the pudding keycaps, which are like a frosted clear on the bottom. I'll link those too, and here is a picture of them. But they might look really nice with this keyboard. Actually, the color is really cool. I know you can see like the RGB coloring actually peeks through the side, so it's super nice. The only thing is I'm actually used to my keyboards being a little more propped up. So here, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of more flat. I like it kind of more on a tilt. I'm sure I can just put something in the back to tilt it a bit, but I kind of want to use it as is just because, you know, you want to use it in its original form. So I'm gonna give that a shot, and I'm sure I'll get used to it. But thank you so much for watching the video. I thoroughly enjoyed this process. It was super, I mean, lubing it was an insane process. It definitely took a very long time, but the result is totally worth it. This feels like a really solid keyboard compared, like, honestly, after using this, I mean, this thing weighs a ton. After using this, my old one almost feels cheap, not gonna, and it wasn't. It was like, it's like $100, I want to say like $40-ish keyboard. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I also stream, check out the Twitch if you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you for checking out my video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if anybody else has gotten this keyboard and what you guys think about it. Thank you for watching. Bye.